everyone, I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we are talking about Frankly in Love by David Yoon, which I got off of Edelweiss.
Same.
Yes. So this book is about Frank Lee. Get it? There's a little pun in the title. You get that? Yep.
It happens all throughout, so get used to it.
Yeah. He's the first generation Korean born. His parents were immigrants from Korea. And he lives in Southern California, and he's trying to be like the good Korean son because his older sister went to the Harvard and got the law degree like they wanted, but she also married an African American guy, so they basically disowned her.
They didn't basically disown her; they disowned her.
Well, I thought they said that they never actually came out and said disowned.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of like part of it?
I don't know. Because he keeps saying we'll basically get disowned. And so Frank has a crush on this girl named Britt Means, who is very European American, as she keeps saying, and he knows that his parents won't be okay with this, and so he wants to date her. So he gets his friend Joy, who is a child of one of the Lee's co-immigrant friends, so like they're all like in this group together, to fake date because she's dating a Chinese American boy who her parents wouldn't be okay with. Well, things get complicated because he kind of gets to where he likes Joy, and then things go from there. I don't want to give away more than that. I feel like that gives out the basic, yeah. So I liked this book. Sarah did not.
I didn't like this book. I didn't like Frank. He was annoying. I liked Joy. I enjoyed her, and I enjoyed when she was on the page. And I enjoyed Q, the best friend, and Britt was interesting. But I was dying.
Was it Frank's narrative voice you didn't like?
I think so.
Oh. See, I liked the aspects.
It wasn't, and like it was. I thought like the layer of being Korean American and kind of figuring all of that out and figuring out what your parents want versus what you want and kind of the give and take between that. Like that was interesting. It was an interesting layer, and it was interesting that it was talking about it. It was interesting that it was talking about how, as a Korean American, you know, this is a very small community that you're having in America. What, like 1% of
right.
whatever are Koreans, even though his parents only want him to date Koreans, and kind of talking about the racism of that. All of that was very interesting. All of that you don't see in other books. The fact that you've got another book that talks about disowning a child that you don't see very often either. Interesting. It was just like, I didn't like Frank.
And it's told in Frank's first
right.
person. See, because all of that I liked, and I liked the fact that it is a fake date book for boys written from a boy's perspective. I liked the aspects of the immigration. I liked Joy. I liked the idea of growing up. I will say, though, it kind of threw me because David Yoon, like, did art for his wife's books, and there's, like, no art in this book whatsoever. I was kind of expecting that.
Could definitely use some multimedia.
Yeah. But, I mean, I liked it. It was a quick read. I mean, I think it's going to be an awards book this year.
I think it's going to be an awards book, but it was a struggle for me. I struggled to read this. This book took me forever to read.
Did you notice that he wrote himself into it?
I did.
I was wondering if other people would notice that. Because there's a part where Frank basically meets him and Nicola Yoon and their daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if other people noticed that. I don't know what else to say. Like, I feel like, because basically the stuff that you said you liked, I liked, but Frank's narrative voice didn't bother me the way it bothered you.
I didn't want to hear it. Like, honestly, if we weren't vlogging this, I wouldn't have finished this book.
But if it was the same story told in third person, would you have liked it better?
I might have.
So it was literally the narrative voice. Which, I mean, I've had that too, where, like, I'll read a book and I'll be like, this is horrible. I just can't stand it.
Yeah, I might have.
Because, like I said, I enjoyed all those aspects of it, and I thought it was well done. I guess we don't really have much else to say, so we should rate it. So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
2 unicorns. I didn't like it. It took me forever to get through because I didn't want to listen to Frank talk anymore. So it was hard to get through the story because it was told through his perspective.
See, I'm at a 4. I didn't love it to a 5, but I thought it was well done. I liked the story that he was presenting. I liked the idea of the Korean American families. I liked the trying to fit in with your family and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't deny that it was an interesting concept. I just don't think it was well.
It was straight down, you don't like the narrative voice. Yeah. Which, like I said, I've been there.
I don't necessarily know if it would have been a thing had he not been Nicola Yoon's husband.
Well, that's a question too. So that is where we are on Frankly in Love. See you around.
Bye.
Bye.